Hey, so another day, another webinar. I'm going to be here all morning. I've got 8 to 10 now headlines, and I have a few lower levels a bit later. So if any of you are looking to practice your English, especially your listening, come join me and M later on. And if you're level 8, stay on this channel and listen to the Myes webinars. Hopefully, we have a good attendance, and if anyone turns up, please do get typing in that box, and respond to any of the questions we have today in the lesson. So, we have a couple of students. If you are there, say hi. Say hi. Type in the box. Say hey. What's up? Tell me your name and maybe where you are, and if you have any comments you want to say, if I know you, say hi and say that you're from in the Filthy School. Otherwise, if you don't know me, my name is Rab. I'm from Scotland. I work in Milan Filthy, near the train station. And I'm currently in the city centre of Milan, stuck in my house, just like you. I think we're all getting a bit tired of being stuck in the home at the moment, but with Myes, you can at least continue to practice and engage with your English skills. So today we have a focus about headlines, about news. So we probably will talk about some of the things in the news today. Some important things have been happening. First of all, the rates. I've realised the rates of coronavirus seem to have gone down worldwide or so. Um, so we're hoping that we'll be able to let out of the quarantine at some point. But you may have noticed that Boris Johnson is in intensive care as well. He caught the virus, I think, 2 weeks ago, 11 days ago, and he has just yesterday been put into an intensive care unit, ICU, intensive care unit, which is obviously equipped to help him breathe and look after him in a more intensive way. So there's lots going on, loads of things happening all the time. But unfortunately for most of us, well, maybe fortunately for most of us, hopefully, we're just stuck in our houses and we just have to get on with it. So we are going to look at a focus headlines. So today, this hour is not one of those hours where we get to escape our situation, because we are going to look at some headlines. Anyone know what a headline is? Anna as well, fantastic. From Leon, we have some French people, excellent. So we have expanded our schools to both Spain and France. So I hope to say hi to my international students as well, not just my Italian ones. So lovely to have you with us, Tatiana and Julia. Fantastic. If any more students want to join and say hi, just do so. You're more than welcome. So, we're going to continue looking at what's happening in the headlines, but first we need to look at some grammar, some vocabulary, and really get to grips with something that we can learn today and use in our English, everyday English, something we can use. And a lot of you will be um, maybe struggling with the use of present perfect, because it is a strange tense at the beginning, but with more practice, more context, you can become much more confident with it. So, I'll see what we can get here. We can have a look. We've got our focus here. I'll get it up a bit bigger so we can show you. We have headlines. Let me read for you the focus. Using present perfect for recent news. Discussing gossip and headlines. Inventing headlines. So I want your creativity today. I want you to type in that box any answers that you have, any ideas, any creative thoughts. Let me know. We're going to be discussing a bit of gossip. Which magazines, which newspapers do you like to read? Are they more broadsheets, more serious, or are they a bit less serious? Are they more tabloid? So we've got broadsheet equals more serious, and we have tabloid, which is a little bit more gossip, a little bit more. So these are nouns. A broadsheet, a broadsheet is, well, it really describes the big newspaper that you do, because broad means I'm not broad. I am slight, which is thin, another meaning of thin. But broad is synonymous with maybe wide, wide. So other common areas for wide are things like televisions, a wide screen, a widescreen TV, or this river is very broad. So wide and broad are synonyms. And sheet is, of course, a piece of paper, a sheet of paper. And a broadsheet is one that you open up, whew, and you read very seriously. The days, the times, the newspapers, everything, all the news, everything very serious. But a tabloid, tabloid, another noun, a tabloid is gossip. What's gossip? Huh. Tabloid and gossip. Not serious. So where broadsheet is serious, tabloids are more information about celebrities, who is getting married, who is fatter this year, this kind of stuff. Not serious, not essential information. So we have some more students joining me today. If you can, remember to type in the box, ask your questions, and say hi. So nice to see you. Today we're going to look at headlines. We're also going to try and conquer our fear of present perfect and try to use it in one particular context for recent news. Okay, let's move on. News and headlines. Headlines in newspapers tend to use the present simple or past participles. So, first of all, we need to know what is a headline. Anyone know? Headline, this word here. A headline. Hmm. Floods in Mozambique, or I don't know, sheep speaks English, this kind of thing. So we need to be careful of headlines. The word headline is the title at the top of an article. Hey, Veronica, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Join in and say hi, anyone else, if you're with us. So, here are some examples of headlines, and you notice that the normal language is a bit strange. It's not normal. We often use the present simple to talk about headlines, and we use past participles on their own without their maybe passive or their present perfect constructions. So let's look at this. Thousands killed by bridge collapse. So in a full sentence, that would be thousands of people have been killed by a bridge collapsing. Okay, but here, because they use an economy of space, they are careful of space. They reduce this to thousands killed by bridge collapsing. Let's look at the next one. Obama signs new treaty. Okay, this is a little bit old now. Might be Trump signs new treaty, or Trump scraps new treaty, maybe more appropriate. But that's in our present simple, right? We have our subject, object, and our verb in the middle. Obama signs new treaty. UN hostages crossing into Jordan. So again, just very economic with the text, nothing extra because the article underneath has all the information. That title is just the bare information. Researchers grow teeth from cells. Oh, now a real economy, you could reduce that further. You could say researchers grow teeth. I guess that's quite normal, depending. Um, Definitely, Veronica, there are lots of news and headlines about COVID-19. There are, and maybe halfway through today, I'm going to look at the front page of the BBC News with us and see if we can find any of the language that we are looking at today and see if we can explain it a bit better, because reading news is a really good exercise. Okay, man arrested over death of his wife. So instead of man was arrested, so a passive language with a past participle, man or man has been arrested could be a present perfect. Both of these are communicated in the past participle, so we can just remove the rest of the grammar. Can you find any examples of present simple, present continuous, or past participles in today's headlines? So it's suggesting to go to the Times. I don't know if we're going to go to the Times. Let's see if I can have a look at the Times, because I need to share a new, stop sharing, share a new screen. Let's have a look at the Times. See if we can find any particular headlines that look interesting. Okay, so PM in intensive care. So that's just preposition. It's very bare. It doesn't have PM goes into, doesn't say PM stuck in. It doesn't say, it just says this in this. Really direct. Johnson given oxygen after suffering breathing trouble. Oh, so there's an example of a past participle. Johnson given. Now, full sentence would be Johnson has been given. Has been given, a present perfect passive in here. But here, the communication is the same. Johnson given oxygen after suffering, present continuous, after after suffering breathing problem. So we've got, don't be careful, that's a gerund, that's a present participle. Okay, so we have lots of that. I'm sure a lot of you are really interested in this, as it's a really particular story. Tatiana, I think one of the main reasons why headlines took this form is the price of words and place in newspapers. Absolutely, Tatiana. I would maybe say the economy of words. The price, I understand the thinking, but maybe we would use either economy or value. So we've got the value of words. Value is a more general term, where price means money. It means €1, €5. Price. Value is maybe more of a general, the value of things, the value of this table, the value of life, this kind of thing. So we could use value. Cost is another word in this area. You could choose the cost of words. It's not perfect, but it's another synonym in that world. It costs, or the cost of words. But really, I think the most effective here might be the economy of words to describe it here. Okay, but you're doing great. Yes, I totally agree. The contracted form is for the space, right? Okay, so we've come back to our headline again. Let's have a look. Let's put it full screen and see what happens. Um, let's look down. Rab steps up to take charge of nation's fight against virus. So that's some present simple, right? Some present simple. Rab is this foreign secretary in Britain. Effect on the poor will decide when lockdown is lifted. Okay, that's future. That's a future prediction, definitely with will. Um, let's see if we can find antibody test for public is still a month away. They're putting a lot of hope on this, but you're right. Before we had Veronica saying there are a lot of headlines to do with coronavirus. You're absolutely right. Let's see if we can find some different headlines. Brainy birds take lessons from humans on how to catch prey. That sounds interesting. So, first of all, brainy being the adjective of brain. So, to have a lot of brain means clever birds, intelligent birds, but in an informal way. Take lessons. So, that's a present simple. Take lessons from humans on how to catch prey. Prey is something that you hunt, your food, an animal that is hunted. Okay. Let's have a look. One more down, further down. Let's see what the cartoon says. At this rate, they'll be forced to close the park. Look at all these police officers in the park looking for other people. Okay, anyway, we can stop sharing from the remove screen there and have a look. Yeah, I think it is more precise, Tatiana. So let's see if we can share screen with our materials again. And if we have time, we'll look at um, another newspaper and maybe compare what they're looking at. So let's have a look now. We have another website. Oh yes, I remember this. This is a silly website. If we have time, we will come back to this because this website generates random headlines and it's great for finding new vocabulary. But I'm just going to move on to the next bit because the next bit is an exercise that you guys can do. So, remembering that economy of words, the value of words, and reducing them, here we have four headlines, but they are full text with all of our grammar. So, what I want you to do is to reduce this to the most economic scale, the shortest that you can, without losing communication. So here, the Duchess of Cambridge announced she was pregnant yesterday. This could be reduced all the way down to royal baby arrives or pregnancy revealed, royal pregnancy revealed. I want you guys to think of ways to reduce this. So we can do things like removing articles. So we don't need the royal baby. We could just say royal baby or pregnancy. We can use the nouns instead of is pregnant with all this grammar and adjectives. And instead of maybe using our full grammar, we can just use um, our present participles, our past participles. Royal pregnancy Revealed. Revealed is our past participle. Could be in here. So, guys, I want you typing. I want you to try to produce a contracted headline from the new Quentin Tarantino film has reached the top 10 at the box office. Whew, a lot of extra words. How can you reduce it? Beyonce has just released a new album. Can you reduce that? Can you make it simpler, more punchy, more immediate? There is hope for single ladies. Johnny Depp has filed for divorce. It's a bit old now. But I want you practicing. See if you can reduce this. Get typing. There's 5 students. Tatiana, Veronica, Julia. I want to see your examples. Typing. My example here. Royal pregnancy announced. Oh, Veronica, you're straight in there. Excellent. Quentin Tarantino movie is on the top. Oh, we could even reduce that even more. We don't need Quentin. We could say Tarantino movie on top. But really good removing a lot of that information. We can take out the. We don't even need is. We can remove our grammar completely potentially. On top. Let's have a look. New album by Beyonce has arrived. Now, Veronica, we can even remove has. New album by Beyonce arrived. Or arrives, in fact. We could use arrives, present simple. Tatiana, Tarantino's new film reached the top 10. Yeah, I like it. Let's try new Tarantino movie on top. Oops. New Tarantino movie on top. Yeah. So we've got reduced that right down. Really. I like this new album by Beyonce. Remember, you've got your genitive S in English as well, so you can reorder, reconstruct this kind of language. Beyonce's new album released, arrived. Reduce it right down. Be really economical. Do the last one. Single hope. There is a hope for single ladies. Johnny Depp has filed for divorce. Anyone want to try that one? Really reduce that. Reduce it down to maybe just 4 or 5 words. Johnny Depp divorces single ladies. Hope. Or hope! Exclamation mark. Johnny Depp files for divorce. Maybe make it in present simple to make it more dynamic. Okay, here we are. J Deep has divorced. Yeah, hope for single ladies? Question mark. I love it. Hope for fantastic. I love the question mark. It's really nice. You really added something there and been economic with it. Here, be careful. I think you mean Johnny Depp, J Depp. And you could also remove that has in there. Now, of course, we don't speak like this. We don't say Johnny Depp divorced. We say the full grammar. Johnny Depp has divorced. But here, you could just remove it completely. Johnny Depp divorced or files for divorce. This is really nice example, Veronica. Really good attempt. Okay, let's keep moving. Now we've got to invent our own headlines. Well, let's move on actually. If we have time, we'll look at that. So with our headlines, we have our punchy headlines, contracted for economy. We're going to take those headlines, put them at the top. Johnny Depp divorced. Single ladies hope. This kind of contraction. And then we're going to practice, and you guys can do this at home, writing a fuller article or creating a fuller article. And often in news articles, we use our present perfect. And our present perfect needs to be in a particular use because we, of course, use present perfect when something happens in the past and we don't say when. We don't have a specific finished time. We can talk about the period of time using words like ever. Ever means my whole life, or never in the opposite. I've never been to Russia. So never means my whole life, this context. But we also have other words like for and since. But we have one other word. Or we have other words that we can use to make some more information, like already and yet. But the word we're going to use today is going to be just. Just. So just is a great word to put into present perfect to talk about something that has happened really recently, and that means it's really useful for our newspapers and our giving news. So let's have a review of present perfect. I have, I haven't. He has, he hasn't. She has, she hasn't. It has, it hasn't. They have, they haven't. We have, we haven't. Of course. We know this construction. We're good at this. Things we need to collect and continue to improve with are past participles. Seen, heard, had. That's often a confusing one. He has had. I have had. So we have a have and a had in that sentence as well. So let's recap about the word just. Oops, let's take this away, sorry. We use the present perfect to give news. News has a relationship with the present perfect because it has just happened in the very recent past. It has a direct effect on the present. I've just seen Josie. You're saying this because you're reporting that news to someone who wants that news, who maybe the present is changed by that past experience. You saw Josie, and now your experience of seeing Josie is important to report in news, as a piece of news. I've just seen Josie. I've just bought a new car. It was very recent, and you are reporting it as news, as something to say to a friend. So, using this construction, look where just sits. I've just seen goes in here, in between the I have, has, and the past participle. So we've got some more examples here. Is there any gossip? What's your news? Examples. I've just got a new job. I've just moved into a new apartment. Now I live in the center. My sister has only just told me she's pregnant. I'm going to be an aunt. So we've got only just as well, which is an emphasizing, meaning just really recently. So what I want from you guys is to get typing, use the present perfect with just to tell me your recent news. I want you guys to tell me your recent news. I've just been, I've just had breakfast. Okay, so that's not really interesting news. I've just had breakfast, but it is present perfect, and it is me reporting. Maybe I can invent a new one. It's more interesting. Tell me your news. Has your neighbor just had a baby? Has your cousin just had, um, I don't know, just had, just passed an exam? Has your mother just had or just sung in a choir or just joined a choir? What have you just done? Tell me. Tell me some recent news. I just bought a new phone. Give an example. I've just bought a new phone with a space between just and bought. So show me your examples. Tell me your gossip. Tell me your gossip, guys. I want to see some examples. I've just bought a new phone. I've just joined a band. I've just joined a band. My mother has just sent me a care package from home. This is the next one. And this is true as well. This is my mother has just sent me a care package from home. Care package, meaning a pack, a box of things that show your care, show your love, things that have importance inside, usually food from home. My mother has just sent me. So come on, guys. Tatiana, Veronica, Julia, I want your examples. Oh, fantastic. We're going from Veronica. My cousin just passed. Don't forget, has just passed an exam. She take how it is say diploma or graduation. She she has just graduated. She has just graduated. So we wouldn't say take. We take an exam, it's possible, but we don't take the diploma. We don't take that. We achieve or we graduate. It's fine. We can graduate. Has just graduated. Congratulations to your cousin. Well done. It's a lot of work. But don't forget, has just graduated. Okay. I've just returned back to my research. Ah, interesting. Okay, so you took some time away and you have just returned back. Excellent. Really nice construction. Fantastic. Okay, good work, guys. Thank you for your examples. We're going to go back into our focus and see if we can continue looking at this language. So I'm not going to write an article with you here now, but a really good exercise at home, some homework after this webinar is to use what you learned today to continue focusing on the language and to write an example article, maybe some gossip, a fake article. We have an example here, and I want you to take some of this inspiration to write your own article. Now, remember, guys, Myes is trying to do its best to help you guys with your English. So we have produced our set up a writing response, a writing email. So please get in touch, contact your Myes, and ask if they have an email you can send your examples of writing to. So if you have some writing, like this article today, write it up, type it up, send it to us, and we can respond because we are really trying our best to stay connected and keep you thinking in English because we don't want to lose that construction, that effort we put in. So, that being said, contact us with your article. Let's look at an example. Gossip column. Title, the headline, Beyonce drops new album. Bah, she drops it like it's hot. In 10, 15 minutes. Dropping like it's hot. She's dropping this album, meaning releasing in an informal way. Beyonce, widely known as the Queen of R&B, is releasing a new album this month. According to sources, Beyonce was in the studio last week finishing up some last minute vocals. A source close to the singer has said that we should expect the official album release date to be announced sometime later this week. Okay, so we've got some interesting language here. We have Beyonce, comma, widely known as the Queen of R&B, comma. So we're using commas effectively to add more information. Is releasing, so that Beyonce is releasing, interrupted with commas. Really interesting structure. A new album this month. Okay, so present continuous. According to sources, what an interesting structure. According to sources, Beyonce was in the studio last week, finishing up some last-minute vocals. So we've changed to past simple because last week is finished. So we're reporting something in the past. A source close to the singer has said. So here's a present perfect, but what a great sentence. A source close to the singer that we should expect the official album release date to be announced sometime later this week. So let's add some more information that you can help to you can use to write your own email, your own article. I want to hear these articles. I want to read them. So continue the story of your headlines, useful phrases. According to sources, it has been said on the grapevine, a source close to the couple has said. So guys, if you want, feel free to screenshot this or screen capture this page. I want you to use this as homework to focus on, to work. Now, I want you first exercise, create an exciting headline. Kitchen explodes, or cake explodes in microwave. Something that's happened to you recently. Maybe cousin passes exam, or graduation achieved, cousin happy. This could be nice. Research continues. Tatiana returns. This could be a really nice example. Or this. Try and think of a new title for your article that is catchy, that is short, that is economic, but is interesting and eye-catching. Eye-catching. This expression down here means it grabs your attention. It takes your attention. Attention grabbing, or it grabs your attention. To grab is this motion. Take it. Grab your attention. So think about something that is interesting, some gossip. Maybe it's personal, maybe it's to do with celebrities, like a tabloid, maybe it's serious, maybe you want to write something really important about your research, or maybe it's about returning to research. So using that language, but I also want you to try to write this article with these phrases here. According to sources, Tatiana is desperately needed back in her research. It has been said that my cousin did really, really well in his graduation, on her graduation. A source close to the cousin announced that she was nervous beforehand, but pulled through at the last minute. Okay, so you get the ideas, guys. If you want, feel free to screen catch this and write your article, send it into Myes to get marked if you want. And we would love to see your writing and continue an English dialogue with you. Okay, so we have just under 10 minutes left. That leaves us with our last page, which is just discussing some more news. Okay, wait, we have something from Tatiana, which looks great. Okay. Tactile woman arrested for hugging random people. This is great. If at the end of confinement you see this headline, it will be about me. This is wonderful. Be careful of the word tactile. So I like I love it. It sounds so funny. Tactile women arrested for hugging random people. Fantastic, Tatiana. I love it. Tactile, however, in English, I don't know if it's translation from French or something, but tactile in English means touchable. It has an interesting surface that feels like you want to touch it. So we often describe material as tactile, something that you want to touch. The cheeks of children are very tactile. You want to squeeze them. But here in English, it might just be um, crazy woman arrested, or what could we write? Contact starved. I've just invented this, so bear with me. Contact is, of course, when you touch something, contact or physical contact, and to be starved. If you starve, it means that you don't eat or you don't have something. If you starve something of oxygen, it means that you can't breathe. It can't breathe. So if you starve it of contact, it means, you don't have any contact with anyone. However, the full construction is beautiful. Is really, I love the example. So Tatiana, I want you to get to your. This can be your article headline. I want you to write. Imagine this is in the past. Okay, you can write something like. Woman age has been arrested in the park after several children have been left crying from hugs that were too tight. It has been a woman close, a friend close to the woman has reportedly reportedly had bruising all over her body due to too tight hugging, and the woman was sent out into the park to find new victims. So I look forward to seeing this because it sounds really fun and really creative. Really, really fantastic, Tatiana. I love the example. Excellent. Veronica, if you are still with me, maybe get your article headline out as well, and you can produce some of this language too. Okay, what's in the news at the moment? Has anything major happened in your city recently, in your country, in the world? Well, I think we're going to avoid the main thing that's happened in our country recently. What other things can we think of? Has anything apart from coronavirus happened recently? Have you seen any news? Um, um, is there anything positive that's happened? Let me check the news. Let me see if we can go to. We'll try BBC News. We'll share that page and see if we can find any good news. So we're going to stop share and we're going to share screen. Um, Tell me if you have any news at home that is positive. Let me know, and you could try with the present perfect. So bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. Really recovering. Okay, bad news. Bad news. Why bad news? Bad news. Um, Bad news. Okay, any good news? Uh, well, treating is good, but the Rwanda genocide is not a nice thing to talk about. Um, okay, not great news. Oh, jeez. Is there anything positive in the news? Okay. Now we've got some other random things. Why cinemas will endure the crisis? Okay. Um, why supermarkets won't run out of food? Okay, this site still coronavirus. How much of your body is actually you? Okay, that sounds cryptic. Um, Sport, that's not going to be good news. It's just all cancellations. Okay, I don't think there's any particular good news recently. But yeah, Veronica, yeah, thank you. I know, I'm trying. I'm trying very hard. Okay, so maybe we can round up because we just have a minute or so. There is such a thing as the good news um, newspaper. So we've got the Good News Network. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but here's the Good News Network. If you're looking for some escape from coronavirus, I suggest you look up the Good News website. Here you've got um, college students have been sewing free face masks for communicating with hearing impaired folks. Excellent. Look at that. Isn't that cool for people who have problems hearing? Trillions of dollars now being leveraged, interesting vocabulary, to protect the earth. Excellent. We've got all sorts of good news here. Okay, so guys, I'm going to leave you with this last website here. I'm going to put it into the comments so that hopefully in this time where we're desperate for anything positive rather than negative and we're looking for English practice, head on over to thegoodnewsnetwork.org and practice looking at for past participles and strange language in headlines, things like present participles or present simple in a more dramatic fashion. So have a look, see if you can analyze some language, and hopefully stay positive in this really strange time. Okay, if you have any questions, get in touch with us. We have our email for writing, so please do contact us and say hi. We love contact from our students and we really are missing you. We love being in the school. So let's keep strong, stay positive, and check out some good news and write into us, okay? Thank you, Tatiana. It's lovely to see you. And you, Veronica, and Julia, and anyone else who is with us. I will see you soon. And if you want, stay tuned to this channel. In 10 minutes, there will be another webinar. Okay? Bye.